I am back. What it do, baby? Did you miss me?
We've got ones that can see. Welcome, everybody, to today's show. If you haven't seen the... This is the way.
This is the way.
It's that narrow path game. He's trying to wake people up. Come to bring a peace, boy. Came to bring a vision.
If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because
This is the way.
This is the way.
It's that narrow path game.
You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system that they will fight to protect.
There's a famine coming. Hard times are coming. Right now is just the beginning of sorrows. It's the grace of God. It's God being merciful and long-suffering to us. He's that kind of God. The stars being prepared. And every day was as long as a life age of the earth. But it was not the end. I felt life in me again. I've been sent back until my task is done. And I come back to you now. At the turn of the tide.
It's that narrow path
This
game.
program was made possible by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
And today, we'll be breaking down some mysterious videos that feel like a fever dream. But before we hop into that, go ahead and spam that like button right now so we can run the numbers up on the algorithm. And you ain't got to think about it later. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button to sub up. Join the family. This is the most lit and active community on YouTube, period. So with that being said, guys, let's hop straight.
So today, we're going to go through all these signs and symbols. One geezer who is a partner with this evil company who target kids, and there are others of different beliefs of the gospel, but others with targeting the kids. And the majority of players are kids. And this geezer is doing with a partnership. And he can saying that you gotta feel sorry for him because he has a kid who has handicap and another kid who plays with him. And they play, okay, if you have a handicapped kid, it takes a lot of time of every day to take care. I don't say he doesn't have one, but most likely you'll figure it out. Either way, he can tell viewers of different ages what is neat, what is cool, what is nice. And of course, he has his right to belief, he has his right of opinion. But when it comes to this with the signs and symbols, if he's not educated as a grown-up and doesn't want to learn, then he should not say something. Because when you have an audience with no knowledge, and most have no knowledge really about psychological of knowing until you get to the 30s what world really are, what it looks like, or what it means with signs and symbols. And there are a lot of signs and symbols. And when you're having somebody like him saying, as example, wait, I'm gonna take it out. Let's say, let's go in here, and we're gonna show, okay? And Tabor
Again, I'll do a video on that.
makes.
Alright, let's see what we got in the shop. The games collab still going strong. Obviously, Squid Game. I'm watching the final season. I'm on episode 5, which I think is the second to last one. So far, so good. Little sad, still gory, good stuff. Today's bestsellers has the Boardwalk Warriors pack making a return.
So as you can see, he's mentioned all this stuff, right? This is fair use right, and this is to inform all audience, all people what they really are, because it seems like this twat doesn't have it. And by promoting these evil signs and symbols in a game that has more signs and symbols that most games doesn't have, but the majority of the games have it.
So that's a nice and summary pack. You get the Riptide Raz. He's pretty solid. My least favorite was the Unstuffed Guff, and my personal favorite was
Yes, sir.
Undercover Core. However, we've got a...
If you didn't say, there's a star on this figure.
in my opinion, but this one's still...
So the star
We got the return of Festival Phaedra,
is
as you saw.
a
She's a top
500.
seller today as well,
That
and
is
that's
in the
compliments of
call.
this new locker bundle.
Even
Not sure how to
those
pronounce his name, though.
evil free
But
Amazon
they chose
or
Sticker Star,
Masons,
Magic Wings,
they are
Scully
saying
Scepter,
that,
and
and
It's a
you
Wasp.
say they have the star again. Even magic, and magic is prohibited. It is by the Holy Scriptures not allowed. It is forbidden stuff, and they promote forbidden stuff. They even show these stars that it is with a sign of magic and the occult, the secret of the star, different of the knowledge of the powers. And you can say it's a 5-pointed star. In this case, I keep rubbing.
Plus Festival Phaedra. I mean, that's a good skin.
You see, it says.
Not too shabby all around.
We
It looks
don't
like the summer shop.
decide
Some
for
of the
this.
looks like in the summer shop, some things are rotating out.
We have tried to reach this one to say to him. And let's begin with the saying of these Squid Games, where I have a late tossing out some cash for those who need for different reasons. It can be people have handicap and they need to have some treatment, somebody is sick, in friends or relatives, family, whatever. There's different things that people maybe need is manly made. Divide and conquer the people with something they have created to say, here's some paper. This means that you have these things available. Meanwhile, everything is available. We have different options to our development of society, our way of living, and the world. Not with their way of the globalization, but let's say there is this Squid Games with this elite having all form of signs and symbols. And a little bit about before those signs and symbols. Let's just go through some media stuff, right? Right? With the target kids, as we start with. Why are the Freemason collecting our children's data? Do you know, as the Mason chip, perhaps you have been led to believe it was a state and professional endeavor intended to protect the little ones? They set up fairs, forge partnership with law enforcement, and even strive to distribute their service through North American public school system. Featured in Massachusetts, this Freemason program was premiered by CBS News, the steps of official State House, and included their policies. And their police dog, concerned named Mason, reported only failed to mention the private nod to those promoting him or the government little to do with it. Let's go to the next one. We have here the GACHIP, Georgia Child Identification Program. Right? Here's another one. Here's another one. And it says the Grand Lodge of the Masons of the Massachusetts, and it is the MyChip Masonic Youth Child Identification Program. And they have always with the black goo trying to place things into the body and making different crises, different ways to get it inside the human bodies with changing DNA that God has created, change your biological immune acids and your immune system that God has created. So here we have World Economic Forum says CBDC must be transplanted under your skin if you want to be participate in society. World Economic Forum declare all citizens must be implanted with the CBDC microchip in the very near future in order to able full participate in society, do basic stuff such as purchase food and water. Okay? So then, look at this. And this is let's see if we can open this one. This one open. Okay, the first one that pops up was this. Let's read it together. Let's say here. It says the mark of the beast refers to symbol mentioned in the book of Revelation, especially Revelation 13, 16 to 17, which state that no one can buy or sell without this mark, which is associated with the name or the number of the beast, often interpreted as 6, and then 2 times more of that shite that will rebuke. The mark seems a sign of alliance to the beast, and it is indeed in the end times and the persecutions of believers. So you say there's a connection with this. And what stood out also with this twat was saying in this video is this.
Sushi skin.
Is this.
Like
Look
Beach
what he's
Bombers
saying now
rotating too.
down here. I'm going to
Here's the
decipher this
Boardwalk
for you.
Warriors pack plus the accessory bundle.
Let's say
We got
this
the
bundle,
Billy
right?
skin. So this is from the song
And also
collab.
this
came
Billy
back
skin, what they really are.
yesterday, I think. So it was a surprise Halloween
Okay? I'm gonna
revisit.
We're just listening.
One of my favorite ones that we've had recently. Nice
how
franchise. I
dumb
love all the Saw
and
movies.
ignorant
Now, I'm not sure about this
and
because I
uneducated
have
some
this
can
skin.
buy.
You can see I own this skin, and people that own this skin got these for free, but I did not. So I could buy the shoes right here for $1,000, or I could
you
buy the
did a
bundle
Nike
with the
event.
shoes for $1,000. I don't get a discount at all. What is that? It's kind
If
of
you
dumb.
did a Nike
I got
event,
tricked.
yeah.
And we got
then you will
some
get it.
LaMelo Ball Pumas. These Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are
Pumas?
cool. Someone let me know, are these real? Like, can you get these
We're
in
gonna
real
go
life?
through Pumas
that is
and
wickedly
Adidas,
awesome.
what they really
Very
are.
cool if true.
And let's say don't
Lots of Jordans down here,
ever do
Nikes,
with
etc.
the party of the Nuts
What's
Yahtzee.
this? The
Okay.
Neon Knights bundle. New.
The nice bundle. Listen to what he says. Okay, now we come to this bundle. Look
Skin,
here.
Zeke.
Okay.
Okay, he kind of looks like he's part of the Aerosol Assassin set. Let's see. Is he? Nope. Neon Knights. Okay. I like the paint splatter. So the bundle is definitely the biggest deal here. 1,200. Up top is a new emote.
Okay, then was that one. So let's start with that. Let's start with that. And as I said, the mark of the shite. Let's go down here. We're gonna go through all this. Now it's time for people to start learning what they really are, what they're really promoting. Show. If anybody was showing like Hamas or maybe FARC or someone else opposition, okay, even if it was the Nazi, okay, if it was them, you would be different. I don't care if they want to don't show this and they're trying to take it down and this and that. This is important. This is about all kids, all children, and all ages, whoever participate. This is public information. And they are showing some really, really horrible stuff. This can even be promoted. It is disgusting, really disgusting. So as you can say here, on his leg, he has the X, right? And here's the skull with this diamond square. There's as above so below, and a medallion of the circle, the one eye. And he's even showing one eye with his skull. So they're really showing you, as above so below, one eye, eye of a providence, the eye of horrors, that we rebuke and punch down. So let's go over here. And this is what it's showing kids. When you will run, because the M of the golden arches with like McDonald's and such is connected to some really, really horrible stuff. Really horrible stuff. As you can say, in a magic book, there is the arches. This is where the company, the one who took over from the brother McDonald's, took this. Okay? And it is with connection to really occult thing. As you can see here. Here's the creator, Ray Kroc, who is attending to the Bohemian Grove, and here's the old ones. And even if you say it is the free, like the Club 33, right? As you can see, the McDonald's here, the signs and symbols, is connected to some evil stuff. They moan us. Okay? You can say it's connected to it and the upside down pyramid. Many do this, and you can even see he holding up his hand as evil. Okay? You see? And he's attended to Bohemian Grove. So the M sign, and he's even the lightning men will say, yeah, but God, there's many in the scripture, holy scriptures that mention the lightning. But when Yeshua, Jesus Christ, Jesus, saying, when he looked up and he saw a fallen angel, a light from the sky, come towards down. So when it's the lightning, as same as Mr. Base and them, they are shown the alignment, like you said, what I read about in the Mark of the Shite, that is how to do alignment with them. And the same with that with World Economic Forum. You can look at the logo. And even when that sign went down one time and show who they really are, the Hydras is connecting with like the Vikings, that is really behind the scenes also, as I have explained many times about Alfred and Ludwig Nobel. That's why they have the Nobel Prize, where they give prizes for those who, even to the Yahtzee Nazis. You know, when they're saying that there was some who made them like in the term of like fighting in MMA and such tournaments, there is somebody gets gassed. Okay, there was a race that they said was persecuted. And we know that Christians, that is non religion, it's not a religious thing. Christians are, they were the Christ and the Holy Christ and the Spirit of Christ. And it is for everyone. You don't need to be like that group who was allegedly persecuted. You need to speak Hebrew, or the other one you need to have to speak Arabic because their thing was in Arabic. Christianity is for everyone who wants to be with the Savior. It's like you have not chosen coming to this world, and it's like the metaphor you have not chosen go out with your parents on a boat, but the boat sink. Then it comes a rescue boat or Savior. But you then say, "No, I'm not choosing to go out by boat. I don't want to go by your boat, Savior." Is that what you want to say when you're in that situation? So it's reminding, and it's even like I said about one of the highest ranking who goes to Eastern Island, the Ishtar, and where they have these warlocks like in Hollywood and druids and even the royal family of UK, at least England, with the druid order, Elizabeth, a lizard, and these reptilians and evil ones, the fallen Nephilim that even the Vatican is have admitted they're following the Nephilim order. So when these are different levels of stages, even those in secret society has different levels. They have 99 levels, and they have 33 degrees, and they have 5 ranking, like in Magus and Maga. Like, it is one of those. Make America great again. I said it then and I say it again. We need to make America great again. You have that Donald Trump, or Trump, saying that word MAGA. You can look it up. It's like in the synagogue of Satan and in the church of Satan. It is the highest rank, the 5th rank. So they have even a rank system there. And these are, without a doubt, in sheep clothing, and they're ferocious, ruthless, and cold-hearted reptilian in wolf, as they want to do with this genetic editing, the DNA editing. With all of this, you can say that even if you need to purchase with the child ID program and the mark of the shite, you can only buy and sell with that, like this said, with that ID program of the World Economic Forum. Everybody in the future need to have this. So they have the number of the base, right? And I could take out also what X really are. X, if you put them together, you get the Masonic compass. But if you're taking the X in the alphabet, it is the 26. Okay? But even if you look at the Greek mathematician that said that there is nothing more numbers in, like even in gematria, you can use in gematria. 1 to 9 is only those numbers. Then you have same numbers, but on the side. Okay? So 1 and 9 is only because the 0 has no value. So 1 to 9. What it is then if it's 26? The 2 has no value then because it's an extra number. It means it is 6. So that's what the X really are in the singularity of the number in the order. That's why they show this. That's why they made a movie and what they say, triple X, right? And there is for the grown-ups, and I don't recommend anybody look it up, that one. Is the triple X, adultery, adult things. And you can say that they have not just two on the jacket, they have the one on the head. So when people run with this outfit, they run with the outfit of the evil one. A sun gazer, a neon knight is this one. It's like the knights of the round table. That's what they really are for the night. They are for the night. They're not for the light. They are not for the day, because the day conquers night. That's why they have put this game with that name. They could have put this game in any other way, like Call of Duty is Call of that. Okay, they couldn't mention this game in a different. They could rename it even because they want for the night. They are for the evening, the nighttime, the darkest. They are for the dark. Okay, they're just hiding in this because the daytime. It says in the Holy Scripture that the day wins over night because it's longer light than it's dark under the 24 hours and minutes of each day. And it also says in Genesis 1:16 that God creates the sun is the brightest light. And then he has a lesser light. That's why they have lesser magic in the moon. And that's why he also made the stars is the most lessest light of them all. That's why Hollywood has stars. And they're using this lesson magic that we rebuke. And this is what it really shows. This is what it really shows. It's like you have a deal with YouTube's. Many of them can take that deal, and that is with the cube. You see a cube form, right? With a pyramid. And the cube thing with the pyramid has with also occult, different knowledge, is no other way of the occult knowledge. And many say, okay, how do you mean with this occult thing? Let's start with looking at this. It says, we are, you are, we are, I am. You see the circling? Okay, you have the circling. Let's go through it. Let's go through it. And it's like, then we go through here. If you don't stand up for others, your strength means nothing. Okay? I will show you then the singularity. Here you have the badge of the Freemasonry, the K, the circle, the square, and the circle square. As you can say, as you can see by yourself, they are saying this is the K. You see the circle? So let's come back to that other one soon. I'm just going to take up one more so that you really know about what he's promoting. And then we have, let's see if you can see it. Stone balls are the Somalian Museum, Oxford, dated at least 1,000 years back. As you can see, they have the symbols, right? And they know about these symbols. So let me take to that where you are. And as you can see also, are your eyes really open? The pineal gland is a third eye, the most heavily targeted and poisoned gland in the human body, mainly due to the spiritual influence it has on the human awareness. A closed pineal gland means the mind is and be easily deceived and smuggles to look beyond what is presented in front of it. An open pineal acts like a truth detector by being able to pick up on subtly and consciousness of lies and resolve the messages that may be used as well as concealed through attention. As you can say, it is written. And they are deceiving people because there's many things I could explain about the batch of the Freemasons. The K, the circle, the square, and the circle square. Because the thing is, in architecture, as the PlayStation controller and then showing it openly as even Manly P. Hall of 33 degree Freemason. Manly P. Hall said about signs and symbols, and that is for many of the public, as I said about the pineal gland, it's not many that knows really about the pineal gland, right? So, Manly P. Hall has a famous quote: symbolism is the language of the mysteries. By symbols, men have ever sought to communicate to each other those thought we transcend their intention or language. That's why they make movies, series with lesser magic, and they can send the hidden things. It's not like they can call everybody all around the world. So why not make a serial movie? Then we toss in the signs and symbol what's gonna be. So if he says the symbolism is the language of the mysteries and the symbols when have ever been sought to communicate with each other, as you saw there, okay? And you can see there, the little star is even there, okay? And they are saying here, the average individuals does not realize that life, consciousness, and intelligence are separated and apart from physical substance, nearly functioning through chemical bodies during a temporary span, which we call life in the chemical work. One of the great occult knows that there has no function in any sphere or plane of substance in nature. You must have a body sensitive to and capable of adjustment with the plane of substance. Manly pay hall of 33 degree of shite. So they are showing these signs and symbols really plainly open. So he is even saying to repress rebellion is to maintain the status quo, a condition which binds the mortal creature in a state of intellectual and physical slavery. But it's impossible to chain man merely by slaving his body. The mind also must be held. And to accomplish this, fear is accepted weapon. The common man must fear life, fear death, and fear God. Fear the devil and fear most of the overlords, the keepers of the destiny. This is a Manly P. Hall quotes. Famous quotes that most probably never get taught and learn about these ones. So you can say even by the colors, you have the white as to do when they transcend. The white is when you are pure. When you go into this knowledge, you have to turn to the night, the dark, the black, and then you are red. And this means that your pure blood is now turned into the dark form. It is no longer the light. So let's go to next ones. Okay, this guy says about many things, right? We have even here in the party splatter pack. Okay, they want to make splatter. And up top, they're feeling like they are up top, right? And we see the riot. Is it not a riot right now in many places? And they are really showing this open punk awareness. Okay, fall. And they have fallen with damage, of course they have. So there is many more signs and symbols. So let's go even further and look more. They wanna do as they do in Kenya, the knockout on those who come in a friendly protest. Let's look even more. They can slot this. Okay, there is a goal for them. They wanna do that. They wanna bash. And they will say the beast again. And people say, they know it's the llama. No, 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 no. You believe in unicorns. You know what they really are a symbol of, right? Their uniqueness. So if you don't believe in the uniqueness, you see the cube, the Saturn worship, and there you see the horns. They have the horns, as they're showing about. We were mentioning about the royal family. They have the Commonwealth, that every country that is in the Commonwealth, if they become a minister or president or whatever they are, ruler of a country, they must swear alignment, not to the country, not to the people, they must swear alliance to that geyser, that twat, that weak fellow that has done nothing. And he's a bloodline with like the Collins and even further of it, because you can say that they are the red dragon, as it shows here, the red dragon, and he was also the Prince of Wales that is on the flag of red dragon. So there's the connection. You can see it openly. It is the truth, maybe not the history you learn really about. And the red dragon, it is combined with the Rothschild, because in Rothschild's means in the German the red shield, and you look at their crest, it is the crest of the red shield. And many of these, like the USA, and look what if you put it a R after USA, you put a R, look in the ancient Egypt, what it really means. And they believe in that thing, that is when you combine that name. That's why you can see the Trafalgar Square in London. You can see the obelisk in Washington district of Columbus, and Columbus is the Collins bloodline, and they're all combined. They're all by the same bloodline, and they are the secret rulers. They will say they're arguing with the two sides that divide and conquer, like the left-right paradigm. And you can see open in a game that is supposed to be that you can run away with the red dragon, the devil, that will rebuke and will do what the Saint Michael did with it. There is no place in this world and the next that geyser can hide. We will do the same as Saint Michael. That's why every day give the Saint Michael's prayer, that with the cobalt blue sword protect you against all form of this geyser. And you can say they have the purple of the royal monarchy, and they have the red dragon with the horns. You see the horns, and you see also that cross inside of that bag or pelt on the side of it, and the YouTube pyramid on the eyes. So there you have, even with the rainbow, that they are changing because God created the rainbow. And you see the star, the penta, okay, and like Instagram. That is what it is, the rebuke. You can see it again. There it is. And if you say it's a llama, okay, why did they spell that one with two names then? Why did you do that? And here we have a hard charger. They want to go hard charger. Here we see again another form of the 3-6, the symbol of this breaking across, breaking the laminin. Laminin is a sign and symbol that is in within people. That every living creature have laminin. And laminin is a special sign or symbol that is created by God. You see here, you have the laminin, and here you see the sign and the symbol. So if you break this and go with this upside down thing, then you have the sign and the symbol inside. And you want to make a ground and pound, of course. If they scramble around with their dualies, the black and white dualies, as you can see, there they have it. And they want to do with a strong box. And here you have a name called Shifu. If you look up the not only Jewish and Talmud's evil form of Kabbalah that even Donald Trump is involved with, if you look in the other group of religions, they have something called also, and is even pronounced in the Chinese culture, is also a term that has two ways reading it of a character that bear two different meanings. And we have with the connection of it, if you take it transfer over it, it'd be Sufis. And Sufis of the Shifu is the same. It is a mystic body of religious practice found in Islam, which is characterized by focus on Islamic purification, spiritually, ritualism, and asceticism. So you say they are connected. And we go up again to that one he was saying. You have even here the black light, and the same as you can see they have done in many cities. These lights they have on the night in different areas. And people say, why is the light at that? And let's begin like this guy also was saying. We go upwards now. And he said he liked these shoes, right? He said first the Puma, but let's just say, what is this? Okay, first it's called Baal, Toro, and that is the evil like Moloch, the Baal, that is child sacrificing creature that did it. Many scriptures there is about the Baal. Okay, that's why they have so many names with that. Even in make bail or football, basketball, you see the sport with this is connected and it's called ball toro. Toro means bull, And look at the bull they have placed in, like in Chicago Bulls, is a red bull, right? It's the same with a red dragon, as they did show in the Commonwealth anniversary, where they had this mechanic bull red dragon combined, and there was somebody on it that rode it, okay? And what does the Toro? Yeah, it is the bull. But Nike, the symbol, it is the symbol of Saturn. So I'm gonna take out this one. And here is many companies that shows the rings of Saturn. Pepsi, NASA, that means in Hebrew the save, Internet, Intel, Capital One, Burger King, Amazon, and so on the names. As you can see, there you have what they really do, what they really believe in. And they have placed these signs and symbol upon these clothes. And why do you think that they're trying to make it all to wear this and have it in sport when you compete against each other? That even you can hear the twats that has this mass distraction when they watch these games. They're watching these games like the twats. They can say, "Oh, my team gonna win this year. This year we gonna win." And what position do you play then? You're just an audience. You don't even have a position in the team, and you say your team, and then you can go brawl and raw against other teams. It has no purpose, no thing. It doesn't help the society. It doesn't bring anything. And you say my clothes, my Nikes, my boom 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 bronze. Okay, you're branded. Brand means that you're marked as your cattle. Okay, are you a moo? Are you a cow? They're branded, and these marks on your clothing is brands of the evil. What are you? AC deceived? Are you a closed pineal gland? A closed cone? You are branded with clothes. It is called brand, as the brand, the mark of the shite, and the Saturn worship is the same in Hermetic order. And let's go back to that one, by the way. Let's go back to that. Okay, okay. Now we're on something. Now we're really on. So the thing is, or even these twats or playing with and doing what? Even in the harmonic principles, you see, they have the black sun as an example. And but let's go up here. Let's go up. This is Nike. Nike, even that, like we said about the rings of Saturn on the brand, right? So, like in ancient Greece, the pagans, no matter what they're saying, they always remaining as a pagan. Nike You think it's just a brand? They just made it like Nike. They're like Nike. It is a form of wannabe, like they have in the Vatican. The most treasonous and blasphemous there is, especially when they implanted this new geyser that make honors to Ishtar and Mary, and they call her the great example as the word here. You see, God, not God as single is goddess. And Nike is a goddess of victory, speed, and strength. Nike played an important role in the Greek mythology. She could alter the outcome of a conflict, so the ancient Greeks worshipped her for her favor. Nike is a stonk of support of Zeus and fought on his side in many of his conflicts. So just look at that. Why would any of these have that? Why would these have this? Okay. But let's continue on what they really are. You're branded with evil, you're branded with this pagan, and people wearing these clothes. And you can even say, I have this latest Nike, I have this. What are you? What are up with this society? Compete against each other. Then we're coming up to here. It is named Puma, right? And then this guys was saying, oh, look at this. And you have these called